especially among us college students, we tend to have a grab-and-go approach. Have you ever stopped to look at what's in the box you grabbed? When it comes to reading a nutrition label, it can seem like an intimidating task, but with a few easy-to-apply techniques, we can all lead healthier lives. When it comes to the nutrition label, according to the FDA, it can be divided into 6 color-coded categories. The first category up top in green is the serving size. In this particular example, it's 1 cup. It's also worth to note that it also says servings per container. So you have to realize there's a difference between the recommended serving size and the size in the container. In this case, it's 2. So in this example, there would be 2 cups in the entire container. The second one in white is calories, and it's also worth noting that the calories are per serving. So if you were to eat, for example, this whole container, you would have 500 calories because there are 2 servings. In yellow, these are nutrients that are still needed by the body, but in smaller amounts, such as cholesterol, fats, and sodium, which is salt. In the third category, in the blue, these are nutrients that we want to maximize in our diet, such as fiber, vitamins, and calcium. Now, the 5th and 6th categories kind of go hand in hand. Here in the purple, it says percent daily value. Now, we all know percent is a number, and so daily value can actually be described here in the footnote. And by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, it's determined that the daily values are based on a 2,000 calorie a day diet. So the average American should consume about 2,000 calories per day. And so, for example, calcium here is noted at 20% daily value. So 20% of our 2,000 calorie diet should be calcium. So that would be a 400 calorie per day intake of calcium. Now, we'll approach that subject in a bit, but I also want to talk more about serving size. So according to the National Institute of Health, there's a difference between a serving size and a portion size. The serving size is what's recommended on the label, like we saw before. And a portion size is what we voluntarily consume. So it's a portion of whatever we choose to eat. And sometimes that's the same, sometimes it's different. For instance, in that example, it's macaroni and cheese. So a serving size, which is a cup of macaroni and cheese, might be a perfect portion size for you to eat at once. Now, for other things, let's say ice cream, it may vary. Say you had a bad test or just a really bad day, and you want to eat the whole pint. Granted, it's not the serving size that's on the container, but it's the portion that you chose for that day. And then, according to healthyeating.org, it further breaks down so you can compare your serving size to your portion size. And an easy way to do this, especially for things that don't come in a container, such as fruits, vegetables, things that aren't necessarily store-bought. For instance, for fruit, so I have an apple, they say that a serving size of fruit, so the recommended amount of fruit to eat per serving, is about the size of your fist. So in my instance, a fist might be a little more or less than this apple for my size. So it makes sense that for bigger people, such as men or other people that may have bigger hands, a bigger portion size would be needed to intake the same amount of calories. So the fist equaling a serving size is about 1 cup. So 1 cup is a serving of fruit. So this actually makes it easier, especially say we go to the doctor for a checkup and they say you need to intake more fruit per week, say 2 servings per week. So when you have the apple for lunch, then you can say, okay, I met what the doctor wanted me to do. I have another serving. And then going back to our example before with percent daily values, you may be wondering what 400 calories of, calcium or dairy products look like. So you can also use your fist to measure liquids as well. So a fistful is actually a cup of liquid when comparing it to the glass. So you need, let's say, a fist of yogurt or milk, soy milk, any calcium or milk substitutes can also qualify for the serving. And according to meet the 20%, you need 3 servings. So 3 fistfuls of a calcium product would meet that 20% daily value. And then with this knowledge in hand, we can actually not enter our busy lives too much, especially if it comes to measuring with something that we have on hand, which is your hand. For instance, according to the national, according to healthyeating.org, there's also other things to measure, such some of us may have seen the protein measuring with your palm, which is about 3 ounces, which is a serving. A tablespoon is your whole thumb, or any partial of a tablespoon or teaspoon is the first part of your thumb. So using these techniques, we don't get bogged down in the technicalities of, measuring, oh my God, what does a cup look like? Or, how much of this should I really have? So with these things in mind, we can go about our busy lives without having to, question if we're getting the nutrition that we need. Thank you.